We've learned that Summon searches all information types, all subjects and all databases, and as a result of that also all e-journals, and that a database is just a collection of e-journals based around a broad subject area. So journals then are a much more focused publication than a database. A database focuses on a general subject area like, for example, education and related subjects to education, whereas an e-journal will be much more specific. So rather than focusing on something like education, it might focus on special education needs or even something as narrow as autism studies. So an e-journal is effectively like an academic magazine. They're published from once a year and as frequently as once a month, and they contain some of the latest academic research articles in a subject area. Book publications can take anything from 1 year to 3 years to publish, whereas journals can be published in as little as 3 months, and sometimes up to as long as 18 months. But generally speaking, the research that's published in journals tends to be more up to date than what you might find in a published book. Starting out from the homepage then, just under the search bar, I'm going to click on my A to Z of journals link, and that will bring me through to our journals page. You may have to log in off campus at that point if you're off campus. So there's 2 ways to search. You can do keyword searching or you can browse. So if I want to browse, I just have my broad subject areas listed, and if I click into one of these, it just breaks the main subject down into subcategories. The number in the bracket represents the number of journals that are available within that subject area. So it's certainly possible to just browse. Linguistics has over 500 journals. So if I click into linguistics, it's definitely possible to browse through 500. It's not going to be hugely time consuming just to browse through and make a note of any of the titles that look interesting to you. And I suppose the benefit of browsing is that you're looking at everything that's within the field of linguistics. If you do a keyword search, it's possible that your keyword might not be picking up 100% of the journals that are available in that particular subject area due to the keywords that you've used. So it is certainly possible to browse through all of these and just make notes of anything that might actually be useful to you, and then go in and search those individually. And you can also do these keyword searching. So I'm going to search this one again, second language acquisition. I've selected my filter to title begins with. So if I search for that, it's not bringing up any results. And this is one of the difficulties about doing keyword searches within journals, is that you do have to be pretty accurate with your terminology. So sometimes it's better just to select title contains all words and then rerun the search so second language acquisition, and then so that has given me 2 results, but I'm still not happy with 2 results. I'm sure there's more journals that are specifically related to this topic. Now it could be that my terminology isn't exactly as accurate as it should be, but I will play around a little bit with my search. So I'm going to put back in second language acquisition, and I'm just going to take out the second and rerun that search. So you'll see then that brings up now 7 results instead of 2. Now if I were doing just a short assignment with 10 to 20 references, I'll certainly have enough in 7 journals to be able to find enough references for that. So that is fine for what I'm looking for at the moment. We do have more search options as well, but it just brings up our browse list again. So we're able to do Boolean searches as well within these journals. And I just want to give an example of one of the ways that you can broaden out your search. So I'm just going to do a completely different search here for educational psychology, and I'll run that, and we're seeing it's bringing up 12 results. Now if I use a little trick, which is an asterisk, What I'm now telling the browser or the search engine to do is to return anything that has the word that has a word that begins with edu or psy. So that means if it's a journal title that has educate, educational, educationally, all the different word forms of educate, and also all the different word forms of psychology. So if I rerun that, it's actually going to find me much more. So now I'm finding 31 journals within that subject area. So the takeaway here is you just need to play around with your searches if you're doing keyword searches. Some people prefer just to browse. Other people, if they really know what they're looking for and they have accurate terminology, they'll use the keyword searches. So that's just an overview of how you search journals. The other thing to be aware of as well is that sometimes you might be searching a database and you might click on it on an article and you'll be told that that article is not available. So one of the things to pay attention to on the journal search page is the dates down here. Okay, so sometimes we'll only subscribe to a journal between certain years. So all of the years of that journal will be listed in the searches, but sometimes we won't have access to everything. So if you're not sure whether or not we actually have access to a particular issue of a journal, just pay attention to the years here. Sometimes we have physical journals in the library, so we won't subscribe to the electronic versions of those if we have physical versions. So it's important just to pay attention to that information to make sure that you're aware of what's available. So to access this journal, instead of clicking on the title, which is what we would normally do in databases and Summon, you have to click into the platform that's hosting that particular journal. So this one has 3 platforms, and it's important to pay attention to the dates here. So from 78 to 1996, it was hosted on this particular platform. From 2001 up to last year, it was hosted in Science Premium Collection, and then from 97 to the present, all of those journals are hosted on the Cambridge Journals. So the rights to these journals tend to change hands quite frequently, so it is important to pay attention to the dates to make sure that you're accessing the most relevant dates to you. So for that, you just click onto the platform and that will open up the journal for us in a new window. Once you've accessed the journal, then there's basically 2 ways to search this journal. The first is to do keyword searches using the search bar. The other is to browse all or latest editions. So if I browse first, I'll click on all issues. That will provide me with a list of all the various issues that are available. The most recent one is May 2020, so I'll click on that. And it's just going to give me a list of all of the articles that are available for me to read. We can see that we still have the same features as what we have seen in the databases. So we can download the PDF, I can read it online via the HTML link, I can export the citation into my EndNote library, I can look at the metrics to see the activity on this particular article, or I can expand and look at the abstract as well. And if I click into the article, basically just gives us all of the same options and information that were on the previous page. So the other way then to navigate around these journals is to do keyword searching. Now, the search engines will accept Boolean operators, and you can run multiple string advanced searches if you want to. Oftentimes you don't really need to though, because you're already searching within a very specific subject area. So just some general keywords will actually help you to find what you're looking for quite easily. So for now, I'll search vocabulary and I'll use one Boolean operator and we'll search for grammar. So while they're very general keywords, again, they're general keywords within a specific subject area. So if I run that search, we'll see that it's giving me 290 results. So within the entire journal, there's just 290 results. Again, that's a manageable amount. You could certainly browse through 290 results, and you can use filters as well to get the most recent ones. So, but if I look at my titles, I'm seeing grammar and vocabulary coming up in all of the searches that I've just done. So it's certainly possible to browse down through that many results. You can have a look at the abstracts as you browse as well. So there's not much point going into a lot of detail in terms of advanced searching in journals. The kinds of searches that you run in databases and on Summon will apply here, and you can run these advanced searches. But generally speaking, more basic keyword searches are very effective within a journal because you are searching within a very specific subject area.